What is up, guys? It is the John Gasm, aka your favorite YouTuber of all time, and coincidentally, the most handsome one that you're subscribed to. I am back with another cartoon conspiracy theory, and this is one that has been heavily requested, though I never really saw a point in doing it, because it's no longer a theory, it is completely true and confirmed. The Adventure Time Mushroom War Theory. For those of you who don't know, that is that the show Adventure Time and the setting that it takes place in is all a result of a nuclear war. Now there's a lot to this theory as well, so unlike normally where I just kind of tell you guys about it, I'm going to actually read some of the fun facts and important information to you because, like I said, there's quite a bit, and I can't memorize all that. Now this is all found on the Adventure Time Wikipedia, adventuretime.wikia.com. Everything that I'm reading to you guys is straight off of here. Don't tell me that Wikipedia isn't a trustful source, because it is. So just don't waste my time. Alright, so the Mushroom War, which is usually referred to as the Great Mushroom War, is the cause of the post-apocalyptic condition of the land of Oo. Not much is known about the war at the moment, but the inclusion of mushroom in this title likely refers to the war's nuclear nature. It's kind of obvious. If so, then it is likely that the land of Oo and the creatures who inhabit it are creations that are a result from nuclear radiation and stuff like that. So that's kind of cool. They're all like post-apocalyptic nuclear abominations. It says that the Mushroom War was most likely started by humans going into war against each other on a nuclear scale, such as during the Cold War or the end of World War II. Kind of interesting, in one of the episodes called Holly Jolly Secrets Part 2, one of the characters, Simon, has a video diary, and it takes place kind of what you would think would be the pre-apocalypse, like during normal modern day. And you can see a warplane flying outside his window, and the setting is that of like a normal area, not one that has been devastated. It says because of the fact that you can see the plane and that none of the land is just destroyed, it probably takes place right before the war started. The theory is further supported by the ruined pieces of modern technology scattered across the land and the beginnings of the opening theme, which shows the remains of nuclear bombs and other weapons, which I've never really noticed, but I've also never really looked for it. The only characters that survived the Mushroom War were Marceline, Abraham Lincoln, and Mo, who is now a cyborg, along with the Ice King. Also says that more evidence of a nuclear aftermath can be found in the episode The Vault, where a character named Shoko helps Princess Bubblegum establish her new kingdom first by covering up a river of nuclear waste on which her palace is founded. In the process of covering it up, Shoko becomes disfigured and mutated by the effects of the waste and appears as she had in premonitions in earlier episodes of the series. This episode implies that the Candy Kingdom is built atop a pond of nuclear waste. So if you think about it, maybe the Candy Kingdom was kind of founded on the principle that it was going to be a home to some of the disfigured people that survived all of the radiation, but with some, weird side effects, such as, it's kind of dumb, but such as becoming a piece of candy. So maybe thinking about that, maybe that's how other kingdoms were founded as well, such as the Ice Kingdom, and I haven't watched the show in a while, but there's multiple kingdoms, multiple cities, and maybe the principle that all of them is founded upon is to get mutants and deformities of a certain classification all in the same area. Just saying, kind of interesting. In another episode titled Memory of a Memory, a character named Hudson Abadir, who is Marceline's dad apparently, is seen in a flashback showing him and Marceline after the war, but before the establishment of the land of Oo. This can be further understood in the episode called I Remember You, when Simon says that they may be alone after the apocalypse. Another piece of evidence to this is that in the flashback during that episode, Hudson was nowhere to be seen, and Marceline is seen crying while mouthing Daddy. Because of this flashback, it can be inferred that he abandoned or lost her sometime after the war. In another episode called Finn the Human, Farm World Marceline states the nuclear bomb was dropped 1,000 years ago. In the Farm World timeline, Simon Petrikov froze the bomb in midair, though it came so close to contact that it crushed him. Current Marceline is also 1,000 years old. This means that in the normal universe of Adventure Time, the bomb would have also been dropped around 1,000 years prior to the current events. In The New Frontier, Jake mentions that rocket ships haven't been invented yet, implying that the technology to build conventional spacefaring vessels was lost in a past event, which is probably the Mushroom War. And if you think about it, that totally makes sense. Obviously, they're trying to rebuild something as special as a spaceship, but the technology probably didn't last. Being that such a select few amount of people know how to do that, technology and the information on how to build it probably didn't survive the war. The first mention of the war at all was in an episode called Video Makers, when Finn and Jake discover government copyright warnings before the movies they were going to watch for their film club. And even though obviously the civilizations that established those rules, the copyright stuff was gone, they decide to abide by them to avoid breaking the law, because this show is just that awesome. The Land of Ooo also contains technological devices that are far more advanced than what exists today, such as universal translator devices and holographic newspapers. It's unknown whether these are based on pre-war technology or more recent inventions. All throughout the Adventure Time series, there has been much evidence of human civilization. So everything that I just told you guys is actual facts and complete blatant references to the fact that there was a war at some point in before the Land of Ooo in the universe of Adventure Time. That being said, there are also a couple of clues or hints that kind of reference a former civilization that the writers don't just come out and say to the audience like, yes, this is from 1,000 years ago before the bomb was dropped. I'm going to read to you a couple of these clues just for the sake of a little bit more evidence, but I will link you to the page that has them in the description box below. I've only seen season 1 of the show, so for my sake, I might stick to just season 1 references, and then you guys can go and look at the new seasons. There's an episode called Tree Trunks where Jake and Finn are helping Tree Trunks find some sort of special diamond apple so she can make like good apple pie. And they're going to this really scary forest where there's a bunch of mutants in there. And in that forest there are a couple of traffic signs which somehow turn to sign zombies. So the traffic signs come alive and start eating them. So obviously those traffic signs, being that there was no cars or anything like that in the Land of Ooo, those were probably pre-war. There is also a painting in Tree Trunks, the little elephant's house, that appears to be of the Egyptian pyramids. So not only is this a post-apocalyptic, setting, this also probably takes place in the same universe as our world does, which is kind of interesting. In the episode called My Two Favorite People, the bottoms of upturned cars can be seen in the ground, and Jake also uses a military-issue phone and headset, and some mutated and regular skulls, which is kind of weird for like a kid's show, can be seen near the fire pit where Jake, Lady Rainicorn, and Finn are sitting. There's an episode called Henchman, where at the start of the episode, Finn and Jake are playing on the remains of what looks like a dragon. In the foreground, an old wooden boat is buried in the soil, and in the background, the remnants of a castle can be seen. So again, not only showing some of the things that were kind of there pre-war, the dragon wasn't. I don't know why that's written down. But not only showing things that were there pre-war, but things that show more devastation. Then in another episode called His Hero in Billy's Cave, TVs, a bathtub, and other items can be seen lying around, which are never really prominent in the Adventure Time land, so you could kind of assume that these are rare and probably pre-war relics. So I mean, that's basically it. The Land of Ooo takes place in a post-apocalyptic setting, and that is badass. As usual, thank you guys so much for watching. I love that I can kind of take a hiatus from making videos every once in a while, or taking a break from a series every once in a while, but when a video goes up, you guys always come to watch it and support me. And also, just so you guys know, either later this week or Sunday, because I'm not one of those assholes who thinks Sunday is the last day of the week, I'm going to be uploading a update video, low quality, probably going to be using a webcam. I'll be at school when I do it, just to let you guys know a couple of the things that are going to be going on with the channel for the next couple months. Nothing extreme, don't worry. You guys don't have to, shit your pants and fright or anything. I'm going to be around. One last time before I go, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. comment telling me what theory you want me to do next or what kind of series you want me to do next. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Like my Facebook fan page. I do very regular posts on all of those things. So if you want to see more of the Johngasm, that's what you can do. I love you all. Stay beautiful, stay awesome, and stay fresh.